I said yesterday that this Bitcoin pump is real, and if you don't believe the Bitcoin pump, you're going to get left behind. And now, for those who didn't believe the Bitcoin pump, you're getting left behind because we're almost back at 90,000. And I actually think that this is the road back to all-time highs. And I'm going to show you exactly how we get to the all-time highs and why I believe that this is the road back to the all-time highs. It has something to do with how yesterday, the stock markets had a terrible day. $1.5 trillion was wiped off the stock markets yesterday, and we had Bitcoin going up. And that's the basis of my thesis as to why I think we're about to hit all-time highs. But the all-time highs are for Bitcoin only, and we haven't actually seen all-time highs or anywhere near all-time highs for the altcoins, except for Fartcoin, of course. And I think what we need to look at is whether the altcoins are actually going to follow this time, because if you've been following the Bitcoin dominance, what you'll notice is that we're actually at a cycle high. We're at 64.56, which means that this up until now is only a Bitcoin run. Question is, are the altcoins actually going to join this run? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. If that sounds good to you, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel. We're nearly at 1.161 million subscribers. Maybe if we get to 1.161 million subscribers, I'll get that banana pizza today. Should I order the pizza? Let's order the pizza. All right, I'm going to order the pizza and we're going to get the show on the road. You're going to subscribe to the channel. Let's get going, guys. Okay, I've ordered the pizza. We're gonna settle this pizza debate once and for all today. I ordered a pizza with banana and avocado. Yeah, okay, we'll talk after you've eaten the pizza with banana and avocado. Let's quickly just see how far the pizza actually is. Let's see. Hold on. We're calling Amy. Amy went to fetch the pizza. She's not answering. I hope she didn't eat the pizza. All right. Well, hopefully Amy's on the way back. Here with our pizza. Anyway, guys, big show today. I did say yesterday, those that don't believe in this Bitcoin run are going to get left behind. If you didn't believe in it, you are getting left behind. It's not really about the fact that right now we finally have the first higher high of 2025. If you look at the chart structure, we've been on a downtrend since the beginning of 2025. This is the first time that we have a higher high. Now, if you look at yesterday, this is the green candle from yesterday. I mean, it's debatable as to whether there was a higher high there. And if it was really just the tip. And you know, like in social rules, if it's just the tip, it doesn't always count, right? So we needed another green candle today. And we got the other green candle today. And now if we close at these levels, not only do we reclaim the SMA 200, but we also get the first higher high and the first break in structure of 2025, which is a big moment. But that's not why I'm so excited. That's not why I'm so excited. So the reason I'm so excited is because of what happened yesterday on the stock markets. And I was watching what happened yesterday on the stock markets, and I said, hold on. I don't think enough people understand just how big of a moment or how pivotal of a moment yesterday was. Because when you get a day when the stock market was an absolute bloodbath and you got Bitcoin up, Bitcoin held the 88,000, while the stock market was 3 and 3.5% down all day long. Then you know that there's been a turning point in Bitcoin. And that turning point in Bitcoin wasn't only about the price. One part of it was the price, but there were multiple other indicators to show that people believe in this Bitcoin pump. People are seeing that Bitcoin is decoupled from the markets and has started to act much more like gold, the digital store of value. And that's a much bigger opportunity than the opportunity that we've been looking at. And why I say that there were various other indicators that showed that, for one, we had ETF flows again. We had $381 million worth of ETF flows coming in yesterday. We had more futures being open. Now, I was looking at the futures not only on the crypto exchanges, but I was actually looking at the CME futures as well to see the number of contracts that have been trading. And so you're finally seeing a big tick up in the number of futures contracts that have actually been open. So you're getting a spot-driven demand, as well as you're getting futures driven demand. We also had a breakout in the RSI. Now, for those of you who don't know what the RSI is, it's a momentum indicator. And when you get a breakout in the momentum or a change in the RSI, basically what you're saying is that the momentum has shifted from a bearish momentum to a bullish momentum. And you can see it here. You've gone from bearish, a downtrend, back into an uptrend, specifically if we close here. But you're also getting it in the momentum indicators, which so the RSIs have basically broken out, and you've now got an uptrend. So that's two charts that I want to show you. Later on in the show, I'm going to show you one other chart, which is also a very, very, very bullish chart for the Bitcoin prices. So listen, if that sounds good to you, I need you guys to obliterate the like button. I see that we're still a little bit low on the number of likes. Someone says, Uncle Run, spitting facts. Run gone back to serious mode. I'm in serious bull mode. You know, I don't normally post in Frontrunners that I'm bullish and that my whole thesis has changed. And yesterday in Frontrunners, I actually posted, I was like, guys, this is the pump that I trust. This pump is real. The pizza's on the way. I see the pizza. Bro, the pizza is on the way. So she's coming up. She's coming up. She's bringing us the pizza. We're going to settle this pizza debate once and for all. Put a thing in the chat, Josh.
Yeah.
Do you think that the pizza with banana and avo is a good pizza?
No.
Okay, someone says, let's put on the prayers. You can only put on the prayers if you see the charts. Let's see if we can get the Bitcoin to 89,000. Okay, it didn't work, but you know why it didn't work? Because Fred's not here. It only works if the man is here in person. Anyway, so that is what's happening with Bitcoin. We had the breakout. We had Bitcoin going up while the stock markets were, practically crashing. Let's actually quickly just look at the stock markets today. Up 1%. The S&P is up 1% at the moment. A slight recovery on yesterday's things. So why am I so excited about this opportunity, about what happened yesterday? So let's quickly talk about it. So you had all the markets down. You had the dollar index down. You had the US 10-year treasury yield down. You had stock markets down. And you had Bitcoin up. Okay, wait, hold on. Is that the pizza?
Yes, it's the pizza, sir.
Okay, we have the pizza. Guys, the pizza's here. We're going to settle this.
Like a reveal on camera.
Once and for all. Wait, let me taste it first. I'll tell you if it's worth anything.
Probably not.
Yes, that's how it's supposed to look.
Oh.
Okay, look.
Guys, this is not normal pizza.
The green is an avocado. You can't see it because it's a green screen, but the green is an avocado. Now, and as you can see, there's banana on the pizza. See, like, look here. See, there's a banana on that pizza.
This is so bad.
Bro, just taste it.
Cheers.
Mm.
You just ate it.
Think about it, bro.
Okay, I'll see.
So good.
So first of all, I don't think this is a pizza. My first taste of banana and avocado
It's
on
so
pizza.
good,
No,
bro.
it can't.
It's so good, bro.
Let me see.
Come on, bro.
It's okay, like I would have it once, but not again.
Bro, it's so good.
Plus my family in Italy.
The avocado, no, bro. The avocado doesn't go in the oven. The banana goes in the oven.
It's mid.
It's so good, eh? Hold on, we need to get more people tasting this pizza. Hold on a second. Caden.
Okay, he just left. You had everybody taste the pizza.
It's so good, bro.
Guys, just what's the poll saying?
Caden,
Taste the pizza.
come in. We need an objective opinion here, right? It's a pizza with banana and avocado. Just taste it and tell us, what do you think?
I don't like banana on pizza.
You don't?
I don't think this will be objective. Can you taste the banana even if you don't like bite into it?
It's delicious.
Oh.
I mean, you guys don't know anything about
I
pizza.
think pineapple is worse, but this is bad.
No, pineapple is better.
No.
You coming back for another
I'm very
slice?
hungry. I didn't eat anything.
The guy said it's not good. He's here for another slice. Look.
I didn't.
Come. Show them you're reaching into the
I
box.
didn't eat one thing today, so I have to eat something.
Bro, you're
There's
not,
nothing.
you're not serious. No, leave it here, bro. No, leave it here. It's delicious. Really delicious. You should order one. Referral link below for the pizza delivery company. It's really good, actually. I'm going to have another batch here. It's so good. The banana and 𝗕𝗬𝗕 is so good, bro. I'm supposed to be on diet. Delicious. Josh, do you want some? Try it, come on. Hold on.
Good. I've had it before. I just not gonna eat that now.
Try this, bro, come on. How does you want some? Try one. It's really good, huh? What do you think?
I didn't.
There's one more slice if anybody wants it. Anyway. Okay, let's go. All right, so let's talk about why I'm so excited about this opportunity. So the first reason I'm so excited about this opportunity is because we're getting the NASDAQ dropping, we're getting the 𝗙𝗫𝗄 dropping, we're getting the 10-year treasury yields increasing, and therefore the price of treasury yields dropping. And at the same time, you've got Bitcoin ripping. But the thing is that Bitcoin's ripping in tandem with gold. Well, not actually in tandem with gold, because what we know about gold is when gold rips, there's this thing called the 100-day rule. And the 100-day rule basically says that when gold rips, usually Bitcoin follows 100 days later. Now, the psychology behind why Bitcoin follows 100 days later, we can discuss. It's got to do with the fact that when people get into gold, they plow into gold, gold starts running. When they start thinking that gold's had too much of a run, they start looking for other places to put their money. And then usually what happens is silver starts running, and Bitcoin starts running. This is around the safe haven trade. And if you go back to say, okay, well, where was Bitcoin or where was Bitcoin or gold 100 days ago? So you look at about, let's go, what's the date today? Today is the 22nd of April. So you're looking to, so it's April to March, March to February, 22nd of Jan. So we're looking at about there. You're looking at gold being at about 2,695. Since then, since that level over there, you've got gold up 23.5%. So the majority of the run started happening in about the last 100 days. And if this rule holds true, if this 100-day rule lands up holding true, then this could be the beginning of a Bitcoin run, a massive Bitcoin run. One of the things that will actually fuel the Bitcoin run is the fact that as it starts happening, the media starts talking about it. So if you listen to all the narrative now on CNBC, I've listened to probably 3 or 4 interviews on CNBC where they're talking about how Bitcoin has decoupled from markets and is now becoming a safe haven. He's starting to follow the gold trade. So just listen to this. Oh, you're not getting any sound. Okay, well, let's try and get you sound. Hold on, maybe we can try and get you the sound again. Let's see if I can find you some sound. So try that, and then tell me if you guys hear it.
You probably didn't look at Bitcoin. 𝗕𝗬𝗕 did, and she's here. It's up 3%. What do you make of the way that this has been trading? It's decoupled, obviously, from the NASDAQ, which was a trend for a while. How do you see it?
Something that people were looking for all month, because if you go back to earlier this month, it really was trading in line with stocks. It just was not seeing the big, pops and drops that one we're used to seeing out of Bitcoin, and two, it is outperforming the S&P. It has not really caught up with gold, the leading safe haven. But I think you are seeing evidence, not just. I think that the obvious and easy narrative would be that we're talking about Fed independence today. So Bitcoin is kind of acting as that hedge against, political uncertainty. But I also think that it's not just enthusiasm, it's also exhaustion. You're seeing people, investors wanting to, get back into risk, but just maybe not the type of risk that's tied to earnings or Fed policy.
You got a quick thought?
So
I do.
You've got a president who's very
interested, and his family's very interested.
Could someone just Google how many calories in half a pizza with an 𝗕𝗬𝗕 and a banana? Because I don't think that was on my eating plan today. But anyway, what you're seeing now is you're seeing the mainstream media catch onto this narrative. Now imagine if you think about what the normal investor is being fed. Sorry, let me just. People are saying I'm making them hungry. 90K, baby, 90K. Hold on, people. Let's just. The prayer did work. The prayer did work. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Bitcoin is now broken 90,000. I'm telling you, we're about to get to all-time highs. Why? Because the media is going to start talking about this narrative of Bitcoin being the new digital gold. And to give an idea of how big that opportunity actually is, So you look at gold's market cap. Gold's market cap is 23.4 trillion, right? That's more or less how much the market cap of gold is. It's moving very fast. So let's talk about $23.4 trillion, right? If you take $23.4 trillion and Bitcoin disrupts that, and Bitcoin basically takes over gold, you're talking about a Bitcoin price of $1.1 million. Now, I'm not saying it's going to disrupt gold, and I think if it does disrupt gold, it's probably going to take at least another 5 years, or unless they audit Fort Knox. If they audit Fort Knox and there's gold missing, then it happens pretty much automatically. That's pretty much what happens. But it just shows you the size of the opportunity. Gold is on an absolute tear. China's buying gold. The gold ETFs are absolutely flying. In fact, so yesterday, after yesterday's show, I went to actually check out the gold derivatives on both of our partners, on Bybit and on BTCC. So here's the gold derivative on Bybit. So you see, it's called XAUT-USDT. So it's gold. XAU is gold to USDT, and you can literally on Bybit you can trade this on leverage. So if you think that gold is going to continue to go up, and it could continue to go up, even though it's slightly down from 3520 to 3433, you can literally take 10x leverage on these trades. You can even take more. I wouldn't take more than 10x on anything ever, but you can take. Maybe I'd take 10x leverage on an avo and banana pizza. It's very good, eh? I mean, there's not much left, right? There's not much left. Hold on, is the management group in the company saying something about my pizza? Yes. Oh, you did a poll. Oh God! Someone says this has become a food review show. Come on, it's not like that. Anyway, so you can see that you can go long gold and you can go short gold on Bybit. If you do, and if you open an account and you take a position, you get $1,000 worth of gold in a $1,000 free position in gold. BTCC has also got a similar feature. So again, it's XAUT-USDT, and if you sign up to BTCC, let's just quickly. There's a whole lot of stuff that you get here. I just need to make sure I get it right. First 100 users to deposit over 10 grand, again, get 15,000 in a cash bonus. Okay, that's like the best deal I've ever heard in my life. Anyway, so that is the size of the opportunity. And that is why I think that right now, Bitcoin has decoupled from risk assets and is now trading like a safe haven asset, which is amazing for Bitcoin, especially in times when there is fear. And if you look at the fear in the markets, literally, the stock market has been at extreme fear for, a lot of days. Like, how many days has it been at extreme fear? Researcher.
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah. How many days?
60 days.
How many?
For the stocks.
Last 60 days, it's been at extreme fear, right? And actually, I was reading this. The S&P's performance since Inauguration Day is now the worst for any president up to this point in time, going back to the Great Depression, to 1928. So the markets are really, really, really scared. And to be honest, I'm not as scared as the markets. At least I don't think I look scared at all. I think the reason why the markets are scared is because they haven't had any news regarding the tariffs. Like, there's no trade deals that have actually been done. Obviously not, because the time has been very, very, very short. But I also think it's because China is fighting back much harder than most people actually expected. And they're fighting back with a whole lot of different tools. One is they're starting to coordinate with the other Asian nations, right? So they've gone to Japan to see how they can do a coordinated response to the Trump tariffs. That's one of the things that China is doing. They doubled down yesterday. They reimposed tariffs on US. They're selling US T-bills in this financial warfare. They announced that they will be pulling back from US private equity investments. Chinese state-backed funds are halting new investments in US PE firms. They're dumping the dollar and they're going into gold. And so I think that what the market is saying is, hold on a second. We didn't think that this would turn out into an all-out trade war. And it is turning into an all-out trade war, right? And that's making people nervous, specifically when at the same time, we're not getting the news on the deals of these tariffs. Like, we're not getting trade deals. Mexico says they haven't done a deal yet. Japan yesterday said, look, the US doesn't actually know what they want. We're ready to negotiate. We're here at the negotiating table. Someone says they just announced a deal with India. Is there a deal with India? I saw the deal yesterday, not the deal with India, but I saw that India actually increased tariffs on China because of their alignment to the US, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh. You see, oh my goodness, now look what they're doing. Now I want you, oh my goodness. Look, I want you to see what's going on at this company. Can you see the merch that they've made about me now? Oh, come on. That's a disaster. That's very bad merch. Very bad merch. India says they finalized. Okay, so now we are getting, this is happening right now live. The pizza is happening live and the trade deal with India is happening live. So I'd expect markets to respond positively. So markets have responded positively to that. 1.56% up. 1.56% up on that. But that is why the market is very scared. And I think the other reason why the markets are scared is because of this whole Trump Powell narrative. This whole thing of Trump saying basically what does he call Powell? He calls him too late. He calls him Mr. Too Late. Look here. So if you look at what he calls Powell, he says, just as I predicted, preemptive cuts in interest rates are being called for by many, with energy costs way down, food costs way down, including Biden's eggs disaster, substantially lower, and most other things trending down. There's virtually no inflation. With these costs trending so nicely downward, just what I predicted they would do, there can be almost no inflation. But there can be a slowing of the economy unless Mr. Too Late, referring to Powell, a major loser, lowers interest rates. Now, Europe has already lowered 7 times. Powell has always been Mr. Too Late, except for when it came to the election period when he lowered to try and help sleepy Joe Biden and Kamala. So this is Trump going at Powell for not lowering interest rates. But I think there's another side to this whole thing, right? And the other side to this whole thing is, yes, I agree that there is not much inflation because I believe trueflation more than I believe the government, because I know the people at trueflation and I know they're very good, honest people. One of them is a very good friend of mine. Stefan is a very good friend of mine. But it's not about the trueflation thing. I think what's going on and what Trump is doing to exacerbate the situation is, remember what Powell is thinking. Powell is thinking, listen, there is not really a lot of inflation. The issue is that you've put tariffs into place. And I don't know what the effect of your tariffs is going to be. No one knows because you keep raising them, lowering them, postponing them for 90 days. And if I was sitting in Powell's shoes and my job was to keep inflation down, and I knew that if you increase tariffs, that increases the price that people pay for things, right? So remember, when you're talking about tariffs are, when you're talking about inflation measures the price that people are paying for certain goods. It doesn't measure how much of those goods people are consuming. So think about this. If this pizza box has a tariff, and let's say this pizza box costs $20, and now we get tariffs on the pizza box of 10%, now this is costing $22, that causes inflation, right? That causes inflation in the pizza box. Actually, there's another pizza box here because we ordered a pizza earlier. I mean, it's quite embarrassing, but they didn't cook the banana, so we had to send it back. So we got a different pizza. Anyway, so as Greg Davis says, what Powell is looking at now, he's looking at future inflation. He says, look, I can't reduce interest rates if I don't know what the value of the goods are that make up the inflation basket. And it's impossible for Powell or for the Fed to forecast this because they don't know what the tariffs are going to be, right? They don't know what the tariffs are going to be. And so the problem with Powell, and I understand, he says, look, I can't lower interest rates because I don't know what's going on. He kind of said it over here.
The level of tariff increases announced so far is significantly larger than anticipated, and the same is likely to be true of the economic effects, which will include higher inflation and slower growth. The level of tariff...
Powell doesn't know. He simply doesn't know, and that's why he can't reduce interest rates. And so that is what has the market completely nervous right now. Nobody knows what's going on. And they know that Powell doesn't know what's going on. And for as long as Powell doesn't know what's going on, one, you're getting Trump bashing him and bashing him and bashing him, which is not making the markets feel any more confident. But Powell also cannot reduce interest rates. And so I think we need to start getting announcements of trade deals. And I know we're going to get those announcements. And that's why I'm so confident that the market's going to be going up. regardless of the trade deals, right? Regardless of the trade deals, I do believe that the one thing that everybody wants is a weaker dollar. So the US wants a weaker dollar because that will make their factories more competitive. Every other nation wants a weaker dollar because it makes their currency stronger against the US dollar, right? Do you know what I'm just thinking here? We forgot to put chili on the pizza. Chili, banana, and avocado, bro. It's too late now. The pizza's finished. But we missed a big opportunity. We missed a massive opportunity. Massive opportunity. Anyway, what you can see is that now the dollar continues to break down. But more interestingly, if you look at these lines over here, see that little cross over there. That is the death cross because the 50 MA is closed over the 200 MA on the way down. So the 𝗙𝗘𝗃 has just had the death cross. What most people don't know is that if you take all the death crosses on the 𝗙𝗃 and you say, okay, so there's the death cross over here. These are just some examples. Another death cross over here, another death cross over here. Every time that there's been a death cross on the 𝗙𝗃, not every time in history, but every time that we've looked at, it's resulted in a massive, massive, massive move up for Bitcoin. Why? Because generally, when you get a death cross on the 𝗙𝗃, it means that the dollar is going to continue to weaken. And as the dollar continues to weaken, gold, risk assets, and a whole lot of others actually start to reprice. So maybe this will go the same way. Maybe this will go the same way, and we'll start getting we'll start getting a massive sustained run up on Bitcoin. In fact, that's my thesis. My thesis is that this run is actually going to take us over 100,000, and if the uncertainty continues for a longer period of time, then we actually start to maybe break the all-time highs. The all-time high, I think, is just under 110. So if we get, I think, to 110,000, that will become the new all-time high. So my thesis, we're heading from now towards all-time highs. I don't think it's going to be a straight road with no bumps. I think there's going to be a few bumps along the way, but I think we are going to get an all-time high on Bitcoin. That's Bitcoin. And I know you guys didn't come here for the Bitcoin. I know you guys came here for the food tips. And for those of you who didn't come here for the food tips, I know you came here because you want to talk about altcoins, right? Bro, you were right about your fartcoin trade, eh? Did you take the trade though? So you're a trade spectator. Cheerleader.
Well, it was a banger trade. I hope the community got it. Banger trade.
The fartcoin trade is a absolute banger trade. But the reality is when you look at altcoins right now, you've got Bitcoin dominance, which is at a cycle high. So literally, the dominance now is just under 65%, and it's at a cycle high. And the reason is that this is not a crypto run. This is a Bitcoin run. Bitcoin becoming a de facto store of value like gold. It's not a run of risk assets inside the ecosystem. What I think is going to happen from now is, I think when people start getting more confidence in this Bitcoin run, maybe when we get closer to $100,000, I think the altcoins actually then start running. And I think that if you have like serious kahunas, like if you got serious kahunas, then you would be positioning yourself in the altcoins right now. I don't have like kahunas that size that I'm willing to put a lot more money into alts now to cash Bitcoin into alts. And I wouldn't give anyone the advice of cashing their Bitcoin into alts. But I'm saying if you had kahunas, if you had balls, what you would do is you'd go and say, you'd say, I've got a thesis. My thesis is that Bitcoin is going to continue to run. When Bitcoin continues to run, I think it's going to eventually take up the altcoins. And now is probably a good time to be buying those altcoins. I looked at the last, well, I didn't look at it. I looked at, hold on. So this is the first time Bitcoin hit 89,000, right? Oh, is this today? This must be today, right? Today. This is a today. 84 researchers, and they still label it wrong, but it doesn't matter. You see that if you look at it at the 11th of November, when Bitcoin hit 89,000 for the first time. So that's that day over here. That's where Bitcoin hit 89,000 for the first time, right? We took the altcoins to see where the altcoins were. ETH was double the price that it is today. It was at $3,375. Sol was at $223. It's now at $141. Subi was at $3.26. Hyperliquid wasn't even born yet. Sonic was at 82 cents. Chainlink was where it is now. Near was double the price. Tau was double the price. Why I'm showing you this is I'm showing you that there is a lot of room to run for the altcoins if they run. There's a lot of upside for the altcoins from here. And so I think you've got one of two approaches. If you believe in this thesis and you've got big balls, start putting your money into altcoins now because they're really, 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 really cheap. If not, then wait for your confirmation because there's still quite a long way for these altcoins to go. I mean, Injective was at $27. $27. It's at $8.70 right now. And this is the first time that Bitcoin hit $89,000. So there's a long way to go on the on these trades. Is there anything else? Remember to sign up to BTCC because only the first 100 people that deposit 10 grand actually get that $15,000 deposit. So yeah. Also, if you want more food tips, follow me on Instagram at CryptoManRun and do a lot of food tips. Bro, you had like 6 slices of the abysmal food tips. You had 1 slice now because it's finished. Look, clean.
Yes, you had the rest. Okay, you had one.
Black Navy asked, am I still holding 𝗬𝗓𝗡? Yes, sir, I am holding 𝗬𝗓𝗡. I'm staking. I'm not staking. It's in my wallet. So I'm earning the AO supercomputer as well. Someone says short the market at your own risk, my friend. All right, chaps. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Until then, trade well, my friends.